Life will test you. It will throw storms at you. It will shake the very foundation you stand on. And just when you think you've seen it all, another obstacle will show up bigger and stronger than before. But listen to me. Obstacles are not there to stop you. They are there to prepare you, to strengthen you, to make sure you are ready for the level of success that is waiting for you. See, when you're walking towards your destiny, resistance is part of the journey. The moment you decide to rise, life will test your commitment. It will whisper, do you really want this? It will push back. People will doubt you. Doors will slam in your face. Opportunities you thought were yours will slip away. But hear this loud and clear. What is written for you, what God has set in motion for your life cannot be stolen. It cannot be erased. No person, no situation, no failure can take away what is meant for you. The problem is that most people give up too soon. They hit a roadblock and think, maybe this isn't for me. They start believing the lies that say, I'm not good enough. I'm not lucky enough. Maybe I should settle. But you don't settle. You don't quit, because deep inside, you know your purpose is bigger than the pain. Every setback, it's a setup. Every rejection, it's redirection. Every failure, it's a lesson. Stop asking why it's happening to you and start asking what it's teaching you. Champions don't complain about the process, they trust it. They know that success isn't given, it's earned. Now let me tell you something, faith without action is wasted potential. You can pray all day, you can hope for a better life, but unless you get up and fight for it, nothing will change. God didn't give you dreams just to tease you. He gave them to you because you have the power to make them real. You have everything you need inside of you to win. You just need to believe in yourself the way God already believes in you. I don't care how many obstacles stand in your way. I don't care how many times you've fallen. You get back up, you push harder, you walk through the fire, knowing that nothing can stop what's meant for you. Now go. Take what's yours. Life has a way of throwing challenges at you when you least expect it. One moment you're filled with hope, passion, and drive, ready to chase your dreams, and the next, you hit a wall so strong that it makes you question everything. You start to wonder if you're even on the right path, if you should turn around, if maybe this dream of yours was never meant to be. But I'm here to tell you, that wall, that obstacle standing in your way, it's not a sign to quit. It's not proof that you're failing. It's proof that you're on the right track. Think about it. Have you ever heard of a champion, a leader, a history maker who walked an easy road? The people we admire, the ones who inspire us, they weren't handed success. They had to fight for it. They had to push through rejection, failure, self-doubt, and moments when everything seemed to be against them. But they kept going, and because they kept going, they made it. Obstacles aren't there to tell you to stop. They are there to test how badly you want it. They are there to see if you're truly committed, if you're willing to dig deep and find another way. But most people see obstacles as stop signs. They hit a challenge and think, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should settle. And that's exactly why so many people never reach their full potential, because they stop at the first sign of resistance. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man who had a dream so big people laughed at him. He wanted to change the world. He wanted to do something no one in his family had ever done before. But life didn't make it easy. Every time he took a step forward, something pulled him 2 steps back. He applied for jobs and got rejected. He started projects and they failed. He knocked on doors and they stayed shut. People told him to be realistic, to aim lower, to stop chasing fantasies. And for a while, he almost listened. But something inside of him wouldn't let him quit. He had this fire, this belief that no matter how hard it got, no matter how many times he failed, something greater was waiting for him. So he kept going. And you know what happened? After years of struggle, years of hearing no, years of feeling like he was walking in circles, one opportunity changed everything. One door opened, and when it did, all the pain, all the rejection, all the late nights, all the doubts, they finally made sense. Because if he had quit at any point before that moment, he would have missed it. If he had let the obstacles define him, if he had allowed failure to stop him, he would have never reached his destiny. That's the reality most people don't understand. The journey to success is messy. It's unpredictable. It's painful. But every obstacle, every challenge, every moment of struggle is shaping you. It's strengthening you. It's preparing you for the moment when everything aligns. The problem is, we live in a world that glorifies quick success. People only see the highlight reels. They see the victories, the achievements, the breakthroughs, but they don't see the grind. They don't see the years of struggle behind every overnight success. And because of that, people expect their path to be easy. The moment things get tough, they think something is wrong. But nothing is wrong. Obstacles are the process. Challenges are part of the path. Think about a marathon runner. When they start their race, they know they will face exhaustion. They know their legs will burn, their lungs will ache, and at some point they'll want to stop. But do they quit when the pain comes? No, they push through it because they understand that the pain isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign that they are getting closer to the finish line. The same applies to you. When you hit a roadblock, when life knocks you down, that's not your moment to give up. That's your moment to push harder. That's your moment to prove how much you want it. Because here's the truth. If success were easy, everyone would have it. If dreams were easy to achieve, they wouldn't be worth fighting for. The reason obstacles exist is to separate those who are serious from those who are just interested. They are there to see who is willing to endure, who is willing to persist, who is willing to rise every time they fall. And I know it's hard. I know that when you're in the middle of the storm, when nothing seems to be going right, it feels like it will never end. But listen to me, storms don't last forever. Darkness doesn't last forever. Pain doesn't last forever. But quitting, that lasts forever. You have a choice. You can see obstacles as reasons to stop, or you can see them as the building blocks of your future. You can let struggles break you, or you can let them make you stronger. You can be one of the people who give up, or you can be one of the few who push through. And let me tell you something. If you keep going, if you refuse to let anything stop you, there will come a day when you'll look back and realize that every single obstacle was necessary, that the pain had a purpose, that the delays weren't denials, they were detours leading you to something even greater than what you imagined. But you will only realize that if you keep moving forward, if you refuse to give up, if you trust the process even when you don't understand it. So the next time you face an obstacle, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? How is this making me stronger? How can I use this to grow? Because the moment you start seeing obstacles as part of the path, not the end of it, you unlock a level of strength, resilience, and power that no setback can ever take away from you. And once you unlock that mindset, there is nothing that can stop you. There is a purpose for your life, a destiny that has already been written, a plan so much bigger than what you can see right now, and yet most people never step into it. Not because it isn't there, not because they aren't capable, but because they don't claim it. They sit back and wait, hoping that one day things will magically fall into place. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment, the perfect sign. But destiny doesn't just happen. You have to step up and claim it. Think about it. If you were promised an incredible gift, something valuable beyond measure, but it was locked inside a room, would you stand outside and hope the door magically opened? Or would you go find the key, turn the handle, and walk in to take what's yours? That's how destiny works. God has already written the plan. The opportunity is there, the calling is there. But He's waiting to see if you'll take action, if you'll have the courage to knock on the doors, if you'll be bold enough to walk through them. Most people spend their lives wondering, what if? They dream about success. They think about what life could be like. They get inspired by other people's stories and imagine maybe I could do that too. But instead of acting, they hesitate, they doubt, they overthink, they wait for the fear to go away. But it never does. And so years pass, dreams fade, and they settle. But listen to me, settling is not your destiny. Playing small is not your destiny. Living a life of regret is not your destiny. You weren't created to just exist. You were created to live, to impact, to rise, to become everything God designed you to be. And that will only happen if you make a decision today right now to step forward and claim it. Think about the people you admire, the leaders, the pioneers, the ones who changed the world. Do you think their path was easy? Do you think everything just fell into place without struggle, without action, without faith? No! They had to fight through doubt, rejection, failure, fear. They had to take steps forward even when they couldn't see the whole path. They had to believe in something bigger than themselves. That's what separates those who fulfill their destiny from those who don't. Not talent, not luck, but the willingness to take bold action, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's scary, even when it looks impossible. You have no idea what's on the other side of your first step. You can't see the doors that will open, the opportunities that will appear, the people who will come into your life once you move toward what's meant for you. But that's why faith is so powerful, because faith isn't about seeing, it's about believing. It's about knowing that if God put a vision inside of you, He has already prepared the way. Your job is to walk toward it. But most people stop before they start. They let fear control them. They let past failures convince them that they're not good enough. They let society tell them to be realistic, to lower their expectations, to stop dreaming. And before they know it, they've talked themselves out of the very thing they were created to do. Not you. Not today. Today is the day you stop doubting and start moving. Today is the day you decide that fear will no longer control you, that hesitation will no longer delay you, that you will not waste another moment sitting on the sidelines of your own life. Because here's the truth. Your destiny will never chase you. It will never force itself into your life. It will never beg you to step up. It's waiting for you to make a decision. Are you going to take the first step? Are you going to stop making excuses? Are you going to believe that you are worthy of the life you dream of? Because the moment you say yes, the moment you commit, things will start shifting. The right people will show up. The right opportunities will appear. Not because they weren't there before, but because now you are moving toward them. And yes, the road will be tough. There will be moments of doubt, moments where nothing seems to be working, moments where you'll want to turn back. But remember this, God doesn't make mistakes. If He put something in your heart, He put it there for a reason. He didn't bring you this far just to leave you. Every challenge is part of the process. Every setback is a setup. Every delay is preparation. Because when you finally step into your destiny, you'll realize that everything, the struggles, the disappointments, the long nights, the failures, it was all necessary. It was all shaping you. It was all making you stronger for what's ahead. So no more waiting, no more doubting, no more playing small. Your destiny is already written, but now it's time for you to step up, to believe in it, and to claim what is yours. Life has a way of knocking you down when you least expect it, just when you think you're making progress, just when you start to feel like things are finally falling into place, something happens. A failure, a betrayal, a loss, a setback so crushing that it makes you question everything. And in that moment, it feels like the end. It feels like you've lost your chance, like all your effort was for nothing. But that's where most people get it wrong, because setbacks are not the end of your story. They are not proof that you're failing. They are proof that you are being prepared for something greater. Think about it. Every successful person, every champion, every history maker has faced setbacks. Not just one or two, but many. They've fallen. They've failed. They've been rejected, doubted, pushed aside. But what separates them from the rest of the world is that they didn't let their setbacks define them. They didn't look at failure as a dead end. They saw it as part of the process. They understood that setbacks aren't meant to stop you. They are meant to strengthen you. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well. It's easy to believe in yourself when the doors are opening, when people are supporting you, when everything is working in your favor. But the real test, it comes when everything falls apart, when your plans crumble, when the path you were so sure about suddenly disappears. That's the moment where you find out who you really are. That's the moment where you decide whether you'll let the setback break you or build you. The truth is, setbacks are setups. They are not just random obstacles thrown into your path to make you suffer. They are strategically placed lessons designed to make you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's coming next. Because if success came easy, if dreams were handed out without struggle, no one would appreciate them. No one would grow. No one would develop the resilience needed to sustain success. Think about a seed planted in the ground. At first, it looks like nothing is happening. It's buried in darkness, covered by dirt, hidden from the world. But underneath the surface, something powerful is taking place. The roots are growing. The foundation is being set. And when the time is right, that seed pushes through the ground, reaching toward the sky. That's exactly what setbacks do for you. They put you in a place where it feels like nothing is happening, like you're stuck, like you're buried. But in reality, you are being positioned for something greater. You are growing in ways you can't see yet. Your roots are getting stronger. And when the time is right, when you've been refined by the struggle, you will rise. And not just rise, you will rise higher than you ever imagined. But that only happens if you refuse to give up, if you refuse to let failure define you, if you choose to see setbacks for what they really are. Lessons, preparation, redirection. So maybe you've faced rejection. Maybe you've invested time, energy, money into something and it didn't work out. Maybe you've been knocked down so many times that you don't even know if you have the strength to get back up. But let me tell you something. Your greatest comeback is on the other side of this moment. The only way you lose is if you stop trying. The only way this setback becomes permanent is if you let it. Think about the times in your life when something didn't go as planned. At the time, it felt like a disaster. But looking back, you can see how it actually led you to something better, how it forced you to grow, how it made you stronger. That's the pattern of life. What feels like a breakdown is often just a breakthrough in disguise. No matter how bad it seems right now, no matter how painful the setback, you have a choice. You can sit in it. You can let it make you bitter, let it steal your confidence, let it convince you that you're not meant for greatness. Or you can rise. You can look at this challenge and say, this will not break me. This will not stop me. This will make me better. Because when you refuse to give up, when you decide that every setback is just a setup for something greater, you unlock a level of power that most people never tap into. You stop fearing failure, you stop hesitating, you start realizing that every challenge, every rejection, every disappointment is part of your story. Not the end of it, but the beginning of your greatest chapter. So get up, keep pushing, keep believing. The comeback that's waiting for you is bigger than the setback you're facing right now. But you have to decide, you have to choose to claim it. There's something inside you that knows you were meant for more. A dream, a vision, a calling that keeps pulling at you, whispering that you're capable of something greater. But the problem is, most people stop at belief. They have faith, they pray, they hope for change, but they never take the bold action required to turn that faith into reality. And that's why so many dreams die before they ever have a chance to live. Because faith alone isn't enough. Faith is the spark, but action is the fire. Belief without action is like standing in front of a locked door, holding the key in your hand and expecting it to open on its own. You can pray over that door, you can stare at it for hours, but until you take the key, put it in the lock, and turn it, nothing will change. That's how life works. You can believe that you're meant for success, that you're capable of greatness. But if you're not willing to take relentless, consistent action, your belief means nothing. Too many people live in a cycle of waiting for the right moment, waiting for motivation, waiting until they feel ready. But the truth is, if you keep waiting, you'll be waiting forever. There will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a time when everything feels easy. If you want to change your life, if you want to create something extraordinary, you have to act even when it's uncomfortable, even when you're scared, even when you're not sure how it's going to work out. Because that's the difference between people who succeed and people who don't. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's not even talent. It's persistence. It's the willingness to show up every single day, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how slow the progress, no matter how many times they fall. It's the people who refuse to quit that change the world. Think about anyone who has ever achieved something great. Did they just believe it would happen? No. They put in the work. They failed. They adapted. They got up earlier, stayed up later. pushed through exhaustion, sacrificed comfort. They acted on their belief every single day, not just when they felt motivated. That's the kind of effort it takes to turn the impossible into reality. And yes, faith is powerful. Faith gives you the strength to keep going when things get tough. Faith is what allows you to see beyond your current situation and believe in a future that doesn't exist yet. But faith without action is wasted potential. You can believe you'll be successful, but if you're not doing the work, if you're not showing up, if you're not making the sacrifices, you're lying to yourself. Look around. The people who are living their dreams are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who pushed through the struggle. The ones who kept going when they had every reason to stop. The ones who refused to let failure define them. And if they can do it, so can you. But you have to be willing to go all in, not halfway, not when it's convenient, every single day. People love to talk about success, but they don't like to talk about the price of it. The sleepless nights, the moments of doubt, the sacrifices, the relentless discipline. But that's what it takes. You can't just dip your toe in the water and hope things work out. You have to dive in, fully committed, willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. And here's the thing most people give up too soon. They start with excitement, they make progress, but the moment things get hard, the moment they don't see instant results, they start questioning if it's even worth it. But the people who make it, they are the ones who push through that moment. They are the ones who keep going when others quit. They are the ones who understand that success is not about speed, it's about consistency. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you've been telling yourself you'll start tomorrow, start now. If you've been letting fear hold you back, make the decision today that you will no longer allow it to control your life. Faith is believing in what's possible. Action is proving that you're serious about it. And when you combine the two, that's when miracles happen. That's when the impossible becomes reality, but only if you're willing to do the work. You have one life, one chance, one opportunity to create something extraordinary. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to sit back and watch from the sidelines, waiting, hoping, wishing? Or are you going to step up, take control, and make it happen? Because let me tell you something, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you success. Nobody is going to fight for your dream like you will. It's up to you. Every single day you have a choice. You can choose to stay comfortable, to play it safe, to let fear and doubt dictate your actions. Or you can choose to rise, to push forward even when it's hard, to bet on yourself even when no one else does, to believe in your destiny so fiercely that nothing, not rejection, not failure, not setbacks, can stop you. Because here's the truth, the world belongs to those who refuse to quit. The world belongs to those who take action even when they're scared. The world belongs to those who fall down and get back up every single time. You have greatness inside of you. You have the power to change your life. But the clock is ticking. Time waits for no one. You can't afford to waste another second doubting yourself, overthinking, making excuses. There is no perfect moment. There is no right time. The only time you have is now. And if you're sitting there thinking, but what if I fail? Let me ask you, what if you don't? What if you succeed beyond your wildest dreams? What if the life you've always wanted is waiting for you on the other side of this moment? Will you risk living in regret just because fear whispered in your ear? You are not average. You were not born to be mediocre. You were not put on this earth just to pay bills and die. You were born to make an impact. You were born to leave a legacy. You were born to do something so great that when people hear your name, they remember the story of how you refused to give up. Look at the legends who came before you. They weren't the smartest. They weren't the strongest. They weren't the luckiest. They were the ones who refused to stop, the ones who kept going long after everyone else had quit, the ones who believed in themselves even when no one else did. So now it's your turn. Will you rise? Will you fight for your dream? Will you refuse to let fear, doubt, and obstacles stand in your way? Because at the end of the day, you have two choices. You can either let life happen to you, or you can take control and make life happen for you. Success isn't reserved for the lucky. It's reserved for the relentless, the unstoppable, the ones who take bold action, who push through the pain, who get up every morning and chase their dream like their life depends on it, because it does. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't let another day slip by without taking massive action toward your destiny, because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. Now go out there and make it happen. Whispered in your ear, you are not average. You were not born to be mediocre. You were not put on this earth just to pay bills and die. You were born to make an impact. You were born to leave a legacy. You were born to do something so great that when people hear your name, they remember the story of how you refused to give up. Look at the legends who came before you. They weren't the smartest. They weren't the luckiest. They were the ones who refused to stop. The ones who kept going long after everyone else had quit. The ones who believed in themselves even when no one else did. So now it's your turn. Will you rise? Will you fight for your dream? Will you refuse to let fear, doubt, and obstacles stand in your way? Because at the end of the day, you have two choices. You can either let life happen to you, or you can take control and make life happen for you. Success isn't reserved for the lucky. It's reserved for the relentless, the unstoppable, the ones who take bold action, who push through the pain, who get up every morning and chase their dream like their life depends on it, because it does. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't let another day slip by without taking massive action toward your destiny, because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. Now go out there and make it happen.